Hey guys, I am back with part 2 of tips you need to know when buying new construction and what no one is going to tell you. Let's get right into it. Tip number 1, read your sales agreement thoroughly. This should be a no-brainer and common sense, but if you remember from the first video, and by the way, if you haven't taken a look at that, go take a look at my first 5 tips where I explain that buying a home is such an emotional decision that sometimes what's obvious just doesn't come to mind. And if you're pressured to purchase because it's the last day of a sale or it's the last of a certain model, it's difficult to dot every I and cross every T, but you can save yourself some heartache by getting a copy of the sales agreement ahead of time, reading through it, highlighting it, and then coming to the appointment with questions. That way, there are no surprises. I can't tell you how many times I've represented the builder and I went over the highlights of a 60-page sales agreement, and the buyer's just not going to remember everything, and they swear you didn't tell them, but it's such a high emotional environment. So you can save yourself a little bit of heartache and a little bit of time by reading through the sales agreement ahead of time. That way, there are no surprises. Tip number 2, be a little educated about the process. If you've never purchased new construction, there's so many videos on YouTube like this video that can kind of go over the ins and outs of what you need to know. Again, things that you may never think about. So take some classes even, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. Be familiar with the different type of mortgages that are available to you. Be familiar with common terms in the real estate industry. Again, this comes from my experience with working for a builder. There's so many people who sat in front of me that had no clue about things that really you should know about if you're about to purchase a home. So do your due diligence ahead of time. Read, look at videos, sit through a first-time home buyers class. That way, the language is not foreign to you, and some of the things that you will encounter, you've already heard before. So that's my second tip, is to be educated about the process. Tip number 3, here's another document that I'm going to recommend that you read ahead of time, and that is the warranty manual. Most new builders will supply you with a home warranty that covers a year of their workmanship, usually 2 years for the major systems of the home, like the plumbing and the electrical, and then a 10-year warranty on the structure of your home. But that's just the basics. Like, dig into that document and really find out what's covered. Some of these warranties will not cover landscaping. They will not cover your driveway. So if you have cracks in your driveway, or you have dead grass or sod when you move in and you think, oh, well, I have the warranty, I'll just call them. Maybe that's not covered. So read the warranty. You can get a copy of it ahead of time, just like you can get a copy of all the other things I've talked about. Read through it, make notes, so that way you'll know what's your responsibility and what the responsibility of the warranty company is after you move into your home. And a segue to my next tip is related to the warranty point. Now, again, because the builder's warranty is gonna expire, you can purchase your own warranty from a third-party company. There's so many out there. One that comes to mind is American Home Shield. That's one that I use for my properties. But get a third-party company to cover the systems after the builder's warranty expires, so that you're still covered. A lot of people don't know that they can do that. But yeah, you definitely can do that. And the last tip is a little secret. A lot of people don't know, but a lot of times the screws that are used on the hardware on your front door are very basic, small screws. They're thin. I would recommend that you change those out with longer screws, and to make sure that the frame of your door and the locks are connected to the stud, okay? No one expects anyone to knock your door down, but you know, safety goes a long way if you take some precautions beforehand. A lot of times the builders will use the 1/4-inch screws, but I recommend you use the 3-inch screws just to make sure everything is nice and sturdy. Change those locks as well. I know they have smart locks now where once you put your new key in, it re-keys everything so the builder can no longer use their master lock. But I've seen that not work, and I'm ashamed to say I've actually walked in on a family that had already moved into their home, and I thought the home was still vacant. So just take an extra precaution to change out the screws, change out your lock so that you are the only person that has keys to your home. And here's I've already given you my final 5 tips, but I have a little bonus. Buying a home is very stressful. And if you buy from a big builder, even if you buy from a small builder, the process can be stressful. The consultants that represent the builder are under a lot of stress. The people that support them in mortgage and title, they are handling so many cases and trying to close so many deals at any given month. I highly recommend that you put on your best patience, your best grace for these people. And sometimes things can get missed in the process, and you may be owed something that you didn't get. Maybe something's missing in the home or something's missing in the process, and it can be really easy to be heated and to be upset and to raise your voice and not talk kindly to people. But I will tell you, that will get you nowhere, just like most things. A lot of times, if you're able to keep your composure, if you're kind, if you're humble, hey, I know you guys have a lot going on and I don't want to be a pest, but I didn't get my whatever it is. Can you see about getting this for me? A lot of times that kindness goes a long way in getting what you need from a builder. Again, I'm only talking from experience. Be kind to people. Gift cards, flowers, coffee, that couldn't hurt either. I know you're the buyer and you should be getting those gifts, but these people work really, really hard to bring your deal together. They're under a tremendous amount of stress. Be kind, be courteous, and I guarantee you will be happier with the overall process. I have so many more tips. I will thinking about doing more videos about this subject, but if you want to know more, leave a comment below. You can contact me through social media. I'll be happy to help you through the new build process. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Sherry Sells 352.